the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I'm so glad that you did, because we finally have some L Word news. Even Miss Gloria's excited. We have finally found out through Autostraddle. I will link the article in the description box down below if you want to check out the whole thing. There really isn't a ton of information in the article. It's pretty much what I'm going to put up on the screen here, and it talks about a bunch of other shows that are coming back too. No one from the show has actually confirmed this news, but I mean, we were all kind of being led to believe through Jennifer Beals' tweet, Leisha and Kate talking on Pants, that the show would be going back to filming sometime in fall. If you go back to my season 2 kind of update video I think this was filmed in around June, I'll link it in the cards above. And even that's when I was saying that I believe they'll go back around this time, and that we'd be seeing the show in about April, May time. I might even drop a clip so you can refer to that. Film season 2, so we're probably looking at the show premiering a little bit under a year, so probably April, May time. But let's get straight into the information, because I know nobody wants to draw this whole thing out. So it's been said that the show is coming back to film in November, which makes sense because they said it was going to film in the fall. And if they didn't go back in November, that would push us way back to January, because no show is going to go back and film for 2 weeks, not even in December, and then go on this big Christmas break and New Year's break and then come back. It makes no sense. So the show, I know right this second, isn't doing the pre-production, because as I said before, some of the sources that I use are from people who are on the cast and crew, or know people on the cast and crew, or have other connections to the L Word through location, set, whatever it is. So they, right this second, this past, the information I have is a few days old, maybe from last weekend, the start of this week, and they aren't back physically right there now. I think over the next few weeks we're going to see pre-production rolling out, and that they're probably cutting up scripts, deciding what's going to be filmed when and where, scenes, everything like that. And they also have the enormous struggle of COVID, and I'll talk about that more in a minute, about what they mean by this narrative tricks. So we should see people like Stephanie, who plays Gigi, Ariane, who plays Danny, Jennifer Beals, obviously, who plays Bette, all coming from their various Canadas and New Yorks and going to Los Angeles to film. Now, what is this narrative tricks that they're talking about? Obviously, I'm really speculating here because I don't work on the L Word, so I don't really, have confirmation of this. But judging on what other television shows have done, what films have done, what Marja spoke to the New York Times about, is that they're going to be using these tricks to, get around the COVID thing. I honestly think that a huge portion will be the whole bubble and testing, because at the end of the day, we are getting 2 more episodes this season, so that will bump the number of weeks that you need to film out more on that in a second. And I think that they're just going to go through this, obviously everyone's going to get tested. They're not going to have a huge amount of guest stars, and they're just really going to tightly control the set pretty much, which is what most shows are doing. You have shows in the UK that are doing this whole using screens and also bringing the real life partners of the actors on for like kissing and intimate scenes. And I said this in my previous video, with this you really run into issues with the L Word, because one, I know a lot of the especially the new younger cast are not open about who they're dating or even their sexuality, which was kind of the deal with the original show. And as it went on, you know, people were more comfortable. I mean, Leisha was always out, but people like Kate, and there was even minor characters like Dawn Denbo and Holland Taylor, when they went onto the show, they weren't out. And then when they appeared on the show, they came out afterwards. And then, of course, we also run into the whole thing of Jennifer Beals, especially, is straight and is married to a man, so that's not going to work with that one. However, the L Word is in a pretty unique situation because they have, I don't know, 6 seasons of footage of the original cast at least, having kissing and other scenes. So it'll be really interesting to see if they draw on any of that, and also the, you know, season 1 of Generation Q. I mean, would I be disappointed if it was recycled footage? Yes, but would I prefer to get new episodes with recycled footage in them to get new episodes? Yes. I'd rather that than nothing. And also, maybe that will force them more into the whole Bet and Tina getting back together, since they have all this stock of footage. And I mean, I'm kind of joking with that, but not really. So between bubble testing and screens, and I just hope there's no mannequins involved and whatever else they have to do, they're going to figure out a way to do this, because as we all know, we are having to live with this virus, which where I live, again, we're very, very lucky we don't have the virus. I live a completely normal life, but unfortunately the L Word doesn't film here. I really wish it did. Filming in general, as I was saying, they're going back in November, we know that now, and there will be a Christmas and New Year break. I imagine it wouldn't be the extended time it normally is. I mean, normally these shows get like a month to 6 weeks off, normally a month, and they might cut that down to 2 weeks, since, you know, they've had this really long period of time off. And afterwards, you know, who knows when the show will come back again, and if you know, we don't even know if we're getting a third season. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just had like a 2 week hiatus for Christmas, New Year's this year. The show last time, the way I was working it out, it seemed like they went back to pre-production in July, filming in August. We got the trailer in September, and then obviously the show came out in December, and we are getting the show going back to filming in November. Pre-production, I think, will be towards the end of October, and then filming actually will take place the middle of November onwards. And working in like Christmas and all these other things I've mentioned, and just COVID in general, I added a couple of weeks buffer in. I think we're looking at about 20 to 24 weeks, depending on how many issues there are and extended, you know, set scenes and things because of COVID. So we probably realistically are looking at the show coming back April, May, June-ish time. I mean, if they went flat out super hard, they could get the show back probably in March, but I really, in a normal year, that would probably be the case, the way they did it, you know, going back to filming in August and coming out in December. But we're probably looking at maybe May. That is if they film and then edit everything, put the episodes out like they did last time and with the previous seasons of the show. But if there's a backup of other shows at Showtime, they may not want to show the L Word at that time of year. I mean, it would kind of work out good because it, you know, Pride's in June, but the L Word is never really shown in the summer, and maybe they want to put it in the December time slot again. So it really is up to Showtime with how they're going to do their schedule, and I just hope that, you know, we get the show back as soon as possible in the safest possible way that everyone is, taking their precautions, testing, doing everything they need to. But this was just some great news that we got, that the show is going back to filming, and I couldn't be happier about it. So if you guys have any thoughts, comments, let me know down in the comment section. And please, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, as it really, really helps out the channel. And of course, now that we're starting to get our news, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you're notified anytime I post a new video, and you'll be able to get the L Word news here first. And also, I do also post a lot on my social media. When I saw this news, I put it up straight away. So make sure to check me out over there and give me a follow. And just thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful that we're getting another season of the show, and that we're finally, after all this time, moving forward and getting filming going again. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.